Too Much of a Good Thing Can Be Wonderful by Mae West. In life, you're going to have experiences and good things are going to happen to you, and you're going to want the good things to happen to you all the time. But unfortunately, I totally disagree with that. I feel that in life, you have to have bad things and good things in order to have a good life. So I definitely disagree with this quote, and in my speech, I'll be talking to you guys about 3 experiences or 3 things that I believe are good. 3 examples that will actually help, help you guys understand how I feel about the subject. So the first one is hobbies, and the second one will be relationships, and then the third one will be material items. So first thing is hobbies. My friend Jordan Levine, when he was younger, he loved baseball to death. I mean, baseball was everything to him. But as he started getting older and kept playing baseball, kept on doing it, he ended up kind of hating baseball. And in the end, the kid doesn't even play baseball anymore. He still watches baseball on TV, but I know his love for baseball got diminished because he was doing it so much. And that kind of happened with me in soccer too. I mean, growing up, I played on club teams, season teams. I mean, there wasn't a year or a time that I wasn't either practicing for soccer or playing soccer. And towards the end of high school, I didn't even really care about soccer anymore. And that's a sad thing when a great thing like soccer that I love now is a thing that I kind of really don't like anymore. Now for the second thing is relationships. I have a family friend, well, they're divorced now, and that's what I'm trying to get at. Yeah, I'm divorced. No, so when they started going out, they loved each other, and it seemed like they were never having problems. I mean, they got married in the first 3 months. I mean, everything was on this uphill. And, I always thought, like, oh, how lucky these guys are to have a relationship that's just perfect. I mean, they never fight, they never do anything. Well, out of nowhere, in like the first year, they just got divorced out of nowhere. They didn't even show up to Thanksgiving, they just got a divorce. And I thought about that, and I was talking to my dad, and he was saying, in life, when you have a relationship, you can't have just constant good. Constant goods, I mean, you're going like this, I mean, there's going to be a point when you have to go down. And if you're up on that hill, you're going to have to go down way far. So, I mean, in a relationship, you need to have good things and bad things to be able to go on this road. That's why they call it bumps in the road. There's a reason behind that. So lastly, my last thing is material items. My grandpa, my uncle, who is, he's extremely rich. I mean, this guy is filthy rich. He has a Cadillac golf cart, for heaven's sake. The guy has everything he ever wanted. But the problem is, he enjoyed buying these things so much. Now it's more of a thing like he buys them to try to relive an experience when he first bought his first Cadillac. Now he has a Cadillac golf cart. He has a Cadillac CTS. I mean, he has all these Cadillacs, but they're not the same way he liked Cadillacs in back in the day. Now it's more of a thing he has to buy them to try to relive a good experience in his past. So I talked to you guys about the hobbies, about relationships, and about material items. I hope that you guys have bad problems so you guys can learn and have good things. Thank you very much.
That was really, really good. Really good.
I was shaking inside. I had to start laughing. If I didn't laugh, I would be like, how long is the trip?
How long was it?
3.5 minutes.
3.5 minutes? I only saw 2 minutes.
All right, JJ, the use of the quote as the attention device is a little bit awkward, but your thesis statement was very clear. You had a good preview. I don't think you want to draw too much attention to the fact that you're giving a speech, so when you refer to in my speech, that's a little odd. So let's avoid that. Just tell us today what I want to explain to you is, or today to make the point, here's what I'm going to talk about. Otherwise, it just feels a little bit too self-referential. The supporting examples were pretty good. You've got some nice details on them. The presentation things, most of the things that you're doing are pretty solid. You've got a very animated voice when you're speaking. There's good diversity of energy while you're talking to us. Your facial expressions are pretty animated. Interestingly enough, a couple of things that I think were a little bit problematic. Your eye contact, you look out in the direction of the audience. You're not really engaging the audience. You look a little bit to the side sometimes, and the rest of the time it's just, I'm going to scan above, and then you kind of go back to the side a little bit. So you talk to people, you know these folks, just talk to one or two people at a time and try and engage a little bit more. You're doing the performance thing, but you want to relate to the audience. The other thing that I thought was a little bit problematic at the beginning is you got too much movement. You don't settle down. There's a little bit of pacing. You've got a lot of gestures that you're doing. Once you got to the main body of the speech, it felt like you got comfortable and you were talking, and instead of pacing, when you did move, it was related to changing the subject or emphasizing an idea as opposed to just the nervous energy coming out. And the gestures, the same sort of thing. They felt a little bit more organic. They're related to the idea that you're talking about, and not just, let me be alive and all those kinds of things. So you're doing the right kinds of things. Everything is pretty solid there. Like I said, you need to work on the eye contact and maybe start off with a little bit more control. All right. Jacob, could you ask Jessica to come on in?